Welcome to Discover Greater Lansing. Whether you're exploring the rich history of the state capital or indulging in incredible local food, there's always something exciting happening here. Discover living. Discover mobility. Discover downtown. Discover giving back. Greater Lansing offers breathtaking activities and outdoor adventures, ensuring a perfect balance of city life and natural beauty. Discover the warmth. Discover the charm. Discover Greater Lansing. The journey begins now.
Hello and welcome back to Discover Greater Lansing. I've got two of some of my favorite people with me today to talk about one of my favorite topics, children. And who doesn't love children? And what we do and what our partners do as a community to make sure our children are well and thriving and living their very best lives. So join me in welcoming Suzanne Greenberg, Executive Director of Children Trust Michigan, and Julie Tamasma, Executive Director of Child and Family Charities. Thank you, my friends, for being here today to tell us about your good works. And more importantly, this is a common theme on the show, the partnerships, the strong partnerships that we know we can do good things by ourselves, but together we do great and wonderful, amazing things. So we'll go like global with Suzanne with Children Trust Michigan because that's a statewide initiative, and then we'll bring it home. Does that sound good?
All right.
All right, Suzanne, tell those few people who may not have heard of Children Trust Michigan, what's that all about?
Thanks, Lori. This is such a great opportunity to talk about a phenomenal organization. Children Trust Michigan focuses on child abuse prevention through strengthening families. We are across the entire state. We have 73 programs that serve all 83 counties and do that in a variety of different ways, primarily in primary prevention, which is, you may see like ads in the community, you might see parent support groups, you might see certainly personal safety programs in the schools for kids. The idea being to work and share information before anybody ever has any issues. So it's talking to the new mom about 2-year-olds and the fact that they'll say no, or they don't want to be potty trained, or whatever the case may be. And then also we serve programs that are known as direct service programs, but secondary prevention. And those are folks that are working directly with families who are a little bit more challenged. They have some more things that they might need help with. So maybe a more intensive parent support group, maybe home visits, whatever that family needs. The whole goal being to prevent any harm to kids and to really do that through strengthening families. And we also have something that we started a couple years ago, and we do partner with Julie's organization to bring family resource centers to Michigan. And we have 11 now. We have a plan over the next 3 years to have a total of 41. And the purpose of a family resource center is to be that place in the community that is created by the organization, but is really what services are in there and how it delivers those services. There's a parent advisory council that helps to choose the programs, right? They choose what they're going to be because they're going to be for them. So it's been great to watch those organizations develop those centers. One of our programs up in Saginaw has a mobile center because they decided that was the best way they could serve the entire county. So the nicest thing is that they're really reflective of what the needs of the community are.
And that's what's so amazing. 83 counties, and as I've got to know the organization, each one of them it's not a cookie cutter at all. No. It's so hyper customized. If this community and the parents and the families tell them, these are what we need, they work with you in bringing them right here. Absolutely. And that's Julie. Tell us what our community, our Parent Resource Center looks like and feels like, and it's not. There's no stigma. It's about a new parent who's, hey, we didn't get books on how to raise these children, and everyone is so different. And it's about lifting each other up, and in so many different ways, from the basic necessities, diapers, food. And other partners that are involved in those efforts. But tell us about right here in the Greater Lansing area, Child and Family Charities and the services you're offering.
Yeah, so we've been here serving the Mid-Michigan area for over 110 years, and we reach thousands of individuals, families, children every year. And we have a wide range of programs. And so this is just one of our many programs, the Family Growth and Resource Center, where we partner with Children's Trust Michigan. We've been doing this program for quite a long time, this partnership. And so we help coordinate prevention efforts, making sure that, like you said, we're bringing in parents and their voice. We have a parent cafe, And so we have a trained parent facilitator who actually facilitates conversations in the community to find out what are parents needing and where are the gaps that they're seeing. And so things that have come out of that is now we are teaching a CPR class for caregivers to make sure that they're prepared if they're at home and have an emergency. We have a Nurturing Fathers program. And so we support dads who may be trying to get reunited with their children or just might need some support of how to parent, or maybe they're trying to break an unhealthy family cycle. We do so much out of this, the Family Growth and Resource Center. So a lot of it is also revolving around basic needs.
Yes, your pantries.
And so our basic needs have grown dramatically. Children's Trust Michigan has been able to provide us additional funding in the last year. So about a year ago, we had about 50 families coming through our Family Growth and Resource Center a month. And now we are seeing about 100 families a week.
Oh, wow.
Just to kind of give you some perspective on that increase of need. And just the awareness. I think families are finding this as a resource they feel like they can connect to. We offer gas cards, laundry cards, all the basic needs, food, things that maybe the bridge card can't provide. And so we make sure we're filling it with healthy options. Also diapers, wipes, formula. We have a lot of partnerships to bring those things in. Gently used clothing. What the cool part is, a lot of families come in and they say, you know, kind of like that pass it forward with clothing. These are just things that I no longer need, and so they're passing that forward in the community. So we're creating that village of families, and this funding and this partnership allows us to do that in a really natural way, where we're just kind of right there in the community.
Right. And again, partnership is key there.
It is.
And what you're doing on the campus that you're rebuilding, the old former McLaren, it is literally going to be a village of services and care that every facet in life can find a resource. And more importantly than that, we don't sometimes put a face on these are people, these are our neighbors, these are our family, these are our friends.
No questions asked. We invite everyone to come through the doors because it's all about building community and building resources. It's not about, are you eligible, did you meet a criteria? It's really about just come in and get support, find your village, find your network of people who can be there for you. So as you were speaking about, we are going to be expanding our resource center even further, because we are in the process in January or February of 2025, we will be finishing up the renovations for the former McLaren Green Lawn campus, and that will be a campus of services where all of our programs will be housed, and that will include all of a basic need wing. So we'll have a whole wing just dedicated to these types of services for prevention and support to make sure that families have everything that they need.
Oh, that's wonderful. And, the need is great, and it's not getting any less as you've quadrupled it. If I did,
Even
I'm not,
more,
even more than that. And the critical funds to do that, and nobody really likes to hear about, you need money to do good things. You need people to volunteer. You need, you need that network. So Suzanne, you've got an interesting Children Trust Michigan. People kind of, is it a fund? How's that all work out? And so share that with our viewers a little bit.
So we are an interesting unit. We're appointed by the governor to do child abuse prevention, but we're the only organization that only focuses on child abuse prevention at the state level. And what's great about that is that we use all resources to serve those 73 programs for the 83 counties. So whether it is funding, and yes we do, and we get those monies from the Children's Trust Fund, which used to be the little red stop sign on your state income tax, and also the license plates, which are so cute. I get a lot of questions about those. But those two things bring dollars into the trust. And then we do have a large auction in May that helps us to contribute and increase those dollars. So the more money we raise, the more money we can distribute to programs like Julie's around the entire state. But we also make sure that I want people to know that when we get private dollars in, we're able to leverage those so to bring in more federal dollars for more prevention programs. And so I want to just say, though, there's been a lot of research done around what Julie's talking about when parents help to decide what programs are coming in. When we have issues of poverty, we thought they used to be neglect, and now they're poverty. We know they're poverty, right? We know it's not neglect. Julie has programs like the pantry for food, the clothing, things to help keep that family together. That's the idea behind primary prevention and family resource centers, and we're very proud of the fact that they are everywhere up to the Keweenaw Peninsula, down in through Wayne County, and everywhere in between. And partnership is the only way to prevent anything from happening bad to our children, and definitely to strengthen families.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then, and Julie, you have your own fundraising efforts here.
We do.
Locally and you've got corporations and individuals who have just, I know because I so support what you do here for our families.
Yeah, so I mean, we're so thankful for the partnership, but it also doesn't cover all the things that we're trying to do. And so we're always looking for donations to help subsidize and make sure that we can meet that level of need. We take gently used clothing, winter clothing.
Yes.
We're going to be doing our winter clothing drive here coming up. So those families coming in can come in and select the things that they need. Yeah. And so, yeah, of course, we're always fundraising as well because we're constantly seeing the increase in need, and we want to make sure that we're always responding and meeting that need.
Right, and this is the time of year where our hearts are full. We're blessed, a lot of us, to have the warm coat and the clothing that is so essential in our climate here in beautiful Michigan. But and just those essential things that everybody at any level can give something, their time, their gently used clothing, like I said, donations, and there'll be information for our viewers to connect in that way with you. So so that you can continue doing the good work, because and your teams, it's just, if you both of you, or I don't want to put you on the spot, but like I said, putting the face on it. I've heard, I went to your wonderful conference and storytelling was this theme, and these aren't fairy tale stories. These are real life stories. Could you share with our viewers just one or two? I remember this woman, she's working multiple jobs. Illness falls on one of her children, and how do you make a decision? I got to get to work. I got to take my child to the hospital, and that struggle. So any stories that just puts a face on what you do.
Heather's been really open about sharing her story, and I think you've heard her story, but she's a mom who is very hardworking, 5 kids, and she has a couple children with chronic illness, and she's an hourly worker. So she's working really hard, and illness strikes, and she's in the hospital for a week, and all of a sudden she finds herself in a position where she doesn't have enough for the laundry cards or the gas to get to and from appointments, or some of those basic needs, and needs help subsidizing her budget for that month. And so it's not about somebody who's not really trying to get ahead. She's working really hard, and she's just almost falling through the cracks. And so we're kind of that safety net to make sure that does not happen, and she's getting everything that she needs. And whenever we have a family that comes to us and says, hey, my washer or dryer broke down, whatever it is, I'm like, okay, let's put a call out to our donors. We have an amazing community. We're all very resourceful, and people want to help.
Yes,
they do.
And so that's what I found is when I reach out to people, they respond in such positive ways.
So true.
And so, I mean, we're blessed for that. And we have, great, these families are wonderful contributing people in our community that we want to support. And we've all been in those positions where it's been tough. We've had a tough month. And so this is just about keeping our doors open to whoever may need us.
Absolutely.
At any point.
I think the other thing I want to share too about Julie's programs and others around the state, because many of us came from a certain county and then we visit, and some are in another county, or we live in one county all the time. And I think for people to understand that for a long time, and still in education, we focus on early childhood, because for prevention that makes sense. And we know that 0 to 3-year-olds are most at risk for abuse and neglect, and so we want to focus there. But one of the things that our family resource centers get to do is for their community decide, wow, we really need programming for parenting 10 to 15-year-olds. Tough stuff if you haven't been there, right?
I've been there.
And so, and so that's the reason that we want to make sure that the community reflects if they need clothing, because when, for instance, kinship, when a grandparent takes over parenting for their child who might be having issues with substances or some other issue that they need to take over for that child for a little while, it's really expensive to feed a teen or dress a teen if you haven't done that in a while. So for us to be able to support that, it's so wonderful. I just can't say enough. There's so many stories about times that folks have come in and said, I didn't expect to be a parent at 72, and now I am, and my budget doesn't support that, so can you help me? And those are things that we can do in the local family resource centers and the programming to help keep them together. So that's the goal, is to strengthen families, and for our programs locally to be the voice of prevention, to always keep that. We got to keep kids out of the system. What can we do to help you? Julie's story was so illustrative of how we can help keep that family together, give them what the simple thing she needed for just a few weeks,
Just get her by,
keep her family together.
lift her up.
Yes.
Right, she's back on her way, and then
Yes.
she might stop in again in the next little bit. And then there's times where she's called me and said, "I'm having a good couple months. How can I give back?" So, like I said, it's all about
awesome.
community, building community, and having people feel like they're heard, and that they have people to go to, that they're not alone in this journey of parenthood. It's not an easy one, as you've said. So we just want to make sure everyone's supported in every way that they need it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so we put a face on those receiving the help. How about those that are giving the care? I just want to do a shout out. I was surrounded with 200 or some from across the state, caregiver. I don't even know what their official title is, and they are the nicest people in the world. I never walked into a conference and people just invite you, sit at our table, sit at our table.
Yeah.
And we're just so kind in what they do every day.
And that's why it's such an honor. And in this role, I was in Saginaw County Bay County for about 24 years doing what Julie's doing now. And what I wanted to see is that exact room of people. Those hearts of gold go into that work every day, like you're hearing and seeing from Julie and her team. It's really the commitment to making sure that we're helping before children get harmed, hopefully before anything separates that family. And to have, I know you feel the same way about our teams, give me someone who's passionate about taking care of kids and loving on kids and making sure they have what they need and keeping them safe and happy and healthy. We'll teach them whatever else we need to teach them. So if people want to volunteer, donate, be a part of, locally, Julie's your person, for sure.
And we welcome volunteers, and as you said, we have an amazing staff. So they're always welcoming the help, though, because they constantly feel like there's more need than they can keep up with, and I think that's what weighs on their hearts. So
And
they are true
I've
angels.
met across the state, and especially here, just working as a volunteer alongside some of your team. And I don't know, but I don't think they ever have a bad day. And if they do, they check it at the door and they bring it. And
they
every
do.
day. And some of these situations, to be realistic, are tough. But you know that what I can do today, and then they turn around and say, "Hey, I'm doing all right now. What can I do to help others?" It's just, I love what you do. This is really what Greater Lansing is about. That big heart on your jacket there, it is the big heart that makes our community so wonderful. So Suzanne and Julie, thank you so much for all you and your teams do.
Thank you.
Statewide, locally, great partnership. I appreciate you.
Thanks for giving us a voice.
Yes, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Susan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
So tell me a little bit more about Junior Achievement of Mid-Michigan and sort of the programs you offer our students.
Wonderful, thank you. Junior Achievement of Mid-Michigan, we've been around 50 years, and our focus is to inspire and prepare students to succeed based on financial literacy, work and career readiness, and entrepreneurship programming for K through 12th grade.
Great. And I know that you received a grant from the Lansing Rotary Club Foundation over the last 3 years to help support that programming. Can you talk to me a little bit about the types of students who use those or benefit from those, maybe by telling me a story?
Absolutely. So we have several different programs. One of our programs, recently we had a high school student. She attended the program. She was not happy about having to get up so early, and she shared that. And then as the day progressed, she shared with me that everything she learned about budgeting, about her finances, about taking her own ownership of her own economic future was going to be so helpful. And we are so thankful that the Rotary provides this opportunity for so many students in the area.
And I know CATA is also a great partner. How does CATA help you and your programming and the students?
So several of the area businesses help us by either providing financial resources or, most importantly, by providing volunteers and mentors who come into the classrooms and help with our student impact.
And you've seen a big spike in programming?
Absolutely. We had the largest number of students this year, 11,200 students in the Mid-Michigan area that we've ever seen in our 50-year history. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for all that you do, and I'm very pleased the Rotary Foundation was able to help.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you again.
CATA's regional mobility solutions make a difference for our community. Hear what our writers and community leaders have to say about the value CATA delivers to the capital city area.
My name is Pat Spike. I am the CEO of LAFQ Credit Union. I think about how transportation in CATA has played on and off in my life, and how it impacted my family even. My uncle worked at the university. We rode the same Route 1 bus. He got on it at Meridian Mall. I got on it in East Lansing. I don't ride the bus anymore. It doesn't mean that I don't believe in public transportation. Part of what really got me thinking about public transportation again, my executives shared a story about their spouse picking up someone that was walking to one of the supplier plants. I believe it was 4:30 or 5:30 in the morning. It was the middle of a Michigan winter, and they don't have a way to work other than their feet. And I started to pay attention. And I started to see the people that were walking down Saginaw. And we've worked with a lot of people to kind of talk about transportation. And I was schooled on the fact I did not know that CATA really was kind of exclusive to Ingham County, because I've lived in Ingham County most of my life, so I assumed CATA was everywhere. I believe that CATA continues to show up and make sure that our community is served in all different ways, whether it's through seniors, whether it's helping getting people to a shelter, whether it's being a lit up bus in a parade. I think CATA aligns with all those things that make a community a viable, important community.
So we're going to talk about banking, and I'm excited to have Eaton Community Bank with me today, Jane O'Connell specifically, and we're going to talk about this, this space that we're in as far as real estate is concerned. So buyers are still out there buying homes, sellers are still putting their home on the market, but for the person that wants to do a little bit of preparation and maybe just look at getting ready to do that rather than just jumping right in, what do you suggest sellers do at this point?
I suggest that sellers take a little time to tap into the equity that they already have in their homes. Now's a good time to look around. Do you need fresh paint? Is there something that needs to be fixed maybe? Now's a great time to tap into the equity that they would only have to pay for minimally until they sell their home and pay it off.
Nice, because I know from the real estate standpoint, it does make a difference at first impression. So that's kind of what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Is getting the first impression in check.
Yep.
Okay, now what about from the buyer's side? What would you suggest a buyer do?
From the buyer's side, the first and best thing you can do is go ahead and get that pre-approval. That's a little bit different than a pre-qualification. We're going to collect your documents, we're going to run your credit, we're going to make sure that your income is on par with the kind of home that you're looking for, so that when it's time for you to buy, you're already in a great position to say, hey, I'm serious about this, I've been approved, there's nothing that's going to come out of the woodwork last second saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to qualify. So that's the best thing that a buyer can do.
Well, what we're talking about then is really positioning, whether you're a seller or a buyer, positioning for your next step, if you will. So, well, I'm excited for our people to get in and take a look at what their options are with you, Jane. So thanks for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The Makata Club is a restaurant accelerator program coming to downtown Lansing in 2025. Julie is going to talk about some of the innovation behind the Makata Club. Julie, can you start off by telling us a little bit more about the Makata Club?
Absolutely. So the Makata Club is a restaurant accelerator program. We're launching 16 food-based businesses within the shared space. Shared space is a big trend right now, so it makes sense in this economy for everyone to share resources. And then we'll be giving a lot of education to the business owners on the backside of things to ensure their success.
Can you talk about the Makata Club's innovative approach to shared restaurant spaces?
Absolutely. So with the ability to launch 16 food-based businesses within this 30,000 square foot restaurant concept, we can help businesses get their sauce on the shelves of a grocery store, or maybe they want to open a food truck or become a caterer. Or we have 6 restaurant spaces upstairs for those that want to launch a restaurant. So by sharing the resources and the tools, we're able to allow people to open their businesses with less risk and less fear and way more success.
What can guests expect from these innovations when they come to the Makata Club?
Not only are we launching these 16 businesses, but from the public perspective, we are a really swanky 1920s restaurant and bar full of great entertainment and lots of different flavors to enjoy in downtown Lansing.
Thank you so much, and be sure to check out the Makata Club in 2025 in downtown Lansing.
The Lansing Regional Chamber is pleased to be part of Discover Greater Lansing, where we will celebrate and showcase the economic growth and assets that define our region. We are experiencing an extraordinary transformation with over $4 billion in new investment and thousands of new jobs. Placemaking, including the integration of arts, entertainment, and culture, plays a pivotal role in shaping our vibrant communities. Infrastructure is the backbone of economic growth, and we're seeing historic levels of investment exceeding $800 million, including the planned reconstruction of Michigan Avenue, connecting Michigan State University to our state capitol. As you embark on your journey to discover Greater Lansing, we encourage you to immerse yourselves in the unique experiences our region has to offer, support the small businesses that form the heartbeat of Lansing, and joining us in fostering an environment where innovation, collaboration, and prosperity flourish. Together, let's build a stronger Lansing.
Hi, I'm with Shelley Starr today from Supreme Lending, and we're going to talk about finishing out this year and letting buyers and sellers know what's important as they look at a real estate transaction right now in the Greater Lansing area. Shelley, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks for asking me.
Yeah, so tell me, what are you thinking that people need to be doing if they're looking at making a purchase or selling a home here in fourth quarter?
First and foremost, they need to get a pre-approval if they're looking at buying. Being pre-approved as a lender is very important for a real estate agent to get you out there and looking for houses. Making sure credit is in line, that you've taken a look at your credit, make sure where it's at, you know where it's at, and making sure that's keeping in a good structure, good standing. Okay. And then also savings, making sure you've got the money in the account so that we can move forward once you find a home.
Great. Are there any programs right now that are like the latest and greatest that you would like to talk to me about in regards to buying a home?
Well, right now there are a lot of programs available. So for anybody that is self-employed or need down payment assistance, there's some grant programs available for first-time home buyers. So you really need to talk to your loan officer ahead of time and find out what programs you can take advantage of for your buying in this season.
Okay, great. Well, I will tell you, from a real estate professional in the area, your pre-approval from a strong lender really makes a difference. And there are so many different ways we can write an offer. It really makes sense to align a good lender with your realtor right out of the gate. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And we got to work it together to make sure that we do the best for our clients.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you helping us make Lansing greater.
Thank you, Karen.
Wow, what another great show and another reason to discover Greater Lansing. So many wonderful things happening in our great, great community. From living, working, and playing, we've got it right here in Greater Lansing. Thanks for joining us.